ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादशङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। सच्चिदानन्दरूपाय विश्वोत्पत्त्यादिहेतवे तापत्रयविनाशाय श्रीकृष्णाय वयं नुमः। श्रीकृष्णाय वयं नुमः। ज्ञानं प्रशमकरं यदिन्द्रियाणां तज्ज्ञेयं यदुपनिषत्सु निश्चितार्थं ते धन्या भुवि परमार्थनिश्चिते हा हा शेषास्तु भ्रमनिलये परिभ्रमन्तः। आदौ विजित्य विषयान् मदमोहराग द्वेषादिशत्रुगणमावृत्तयोगराज्याः ज्ञात्वा मतं समनुभूय परात्मविद्या कान्ता सुखं वनगृहे विचरन्ति धन्याः। One who is having compassion in his heart, he is dhanya. One who is dasa of Lord, he is dhanya. One who always chanting Lord's name and dancing, he is dhanya. One who is having desire to become Brahma, that person is dhanya. Okay. One who has done all his karma, who has finished everything, all his duty, that person is dhanya. So many different definitions we saw who is dhanya. Okay, just 1 minute. It says one who knows something, that person is dhanya. This way we saw different definition of dhanyas. Then what about samsarik dhanyata we are having? So we had a classification about that. Samsarik dhanyata, paramarthik dhanyata, sadhana dhanyata, sadhya dhanyata. Having children, wife, house is also a dhanyata, but at different level. Okay, then we entered into sloka number first. Okay, any Vedantic text will have Anubandha Chatushtaya. Anubandha Chatushtaya means for whom this grantha is meant, who is the Adhikari. Chatushtaya means what? 4. Adhikari, Vishay, Prayojan and Sambandha. This 4 collectively is called Anubandha Chatushtaya. Every text you pick up from Vedanta, it will have these 4 things. Otherwise, text will not start. Okay, if you don't find Anubandha Chatushtaya, we have to find out. It will be never mentioned that this is Adhikari, this is Sambandha. No. If not given, we have to find out that. Okay. So here, who is the Adhikari in first sloka? Paramartha Nishchitehaha. That person who has firm determination, resolution that resolve that I want to know Brahma only, nothing else, nothing below than that. That person. Okay, what is pramanam? Means of knowledge. Upanishad. That is means of knowledge. Okay, what I want to know? Object of knowledge. prameya, that is Brahma. Upanishadsu nishchitartham, that which is the essence of Upanishad, that I want to know. Okay, what if I know this Brahma, that Jnanam should give its results. Okay, and then what if I don't know this Brahma, then Sheshaha Paribhramantah, they will be going round and round in this universe. From one birth to another birth, they will be going. This is the first shloka's theme. And having known Brahma, Aparoksha Jnanam, my all Indriya Vyavahara should, have break on them. Earlier I was running so much. Now that running should somewhere stop. Okay, means running should stop means running will be continuing. But if I get that, doesn't matter. If I don't get that, doesn't matter. I will strive for it. Not that if everything is mithya, I will not work. Meticulously, I will work for everything. Okay. One thing I want to mention here, each shloka in this text is a text itself. Each shloka. First shloka means how many texts we are studying here? 8 texts we are studying all together. So this is Dhanyastakam. One text. You can go on exploring, go on thinking on that. So Pramata means seeker was mentioned very briefly. Like one who is having firm determination, he is the adhikari of this knowledge. Then we didn't get it in one shot or in one word. So we want little bit elaborated explanation. So that explanation is given in shloka number 2. Who is actually adhikari? Okay, who is Pramata? Who will know this Brahma? This is actually elaboration of Paramartha Sunishchitarthaha. Okay, Paramartha Nishchitehaha elaboration is this. Once again, I will read this shloka. Adau vijitya vishayan madamoharaga dveshadi shatruganama vrita yoga rajyaha ज्ञात्वा मतं समनुभूय परात्म विद्या कांता सुखम वन गृहे विचरन्ति धन्याः. Wonderful shloka. Okay. Now thing is, so much we have listened. So much we have gone through also. Vedantic text, and our all our disposition is also good, not harming other, having a following ethics and moral in society, and we are listening Vedanta also. Somehow, from a man to a seeker, this transformation has been not happening. Are you getting where is the problem? We are going through everything. We know almost so many things, but still transformation is not happening. That is why if you see our tagline of Pradnyodaya, society transformation through individual transformation. So that right now I feel I am so and so, but I don't feel that I am a sadhaka. Okay, that transformation, which is very much essential, I should get that title. Nowadays, the world is crazy for title. But I should get that title sadhaka. I am seeker now. That this is not happening somehow. So with whom? With all of us. So I want to think little bit upon that, because we all are not new. We have heard something, we have gone through so many things. Still transformation is not happening. So I want some views upon this from your side. Okay. So why transformation is not happening in me? You all speak now. Quickly.
Because of there is no slowdown of the desires. The desires are, and we want to always prove something to the world, that I'm something. They want to be appreciated. So there is no inclination towards godliness, which is
one thing you said rightly, that desires are not going down. Okay, that you said rightly. Okay, somebody else can talk.
Basically because of a karma. It is because of the karma, that is because everything is governed by the three gunas. So in case there is we are and the gunas decide there is our actions in this world. So because of that we have this likes and dislikes, ragadvesha, and that is the reason, that is why we are not getting that grace of that is getting into the spirituality.
Okay, because of karma. We know all these reasons. Still, we don't get into seeker role. On that, what you want to say? We know all these things. We all know all the problems. Still, we don't, step up on that sadhaka role. What is the reason? We know karma, so we can do better karma also.
Because of the ragadvesha.
Ragadvesha. Okay. Ragadvesha is one kind of, means it is a textbook answer. Okay. Ragadvesha, very much tested in experience in life also. So Shankaracharya ji is giving reason. Shobha wants to say.
I was going to tell that transformation has not happened because of the attachment to the ego.
Ego,
yeah. Aham. No renunciation of aham.
Okay, a little bit advanced. Okay.
So one more thing, Vasanji, I mean, also there is absolutely no, readiness to sacrifice.
Means holding on to ego.
Yeah, we don't know. Not even that. We don't want to even sacrifice our life for for this for this godly sadhak to seek the spirituality. I mean the Brahma.
Vasanji, is that maybe still we are not believing the knowledge, we are not getting the wisdom, full belief, we are not surrendering ourselves to the knowledge.
Yeah, good. Because I was
more subtleties there. We know everything. Still, we are not surrendering.
Yeah, no, because Vasanji, I think I was reading Brahma. Actually, there's some disturbance.
Okay. You can say now.
I was reading Brahma, and frankly, even it said that even the great sages are not able to understand Brahma. It's so you can say slippery.
No, I'm not saying that jnani to means common man to jnani transformation. From a sinner to seeker. Brahma we are not getting, that is jnani avastha. But right now we do mistakes. We do commit mistakes. But that sinner to seeker, we never feel where I am sadhaka. First of all, this title doesn't come. I am so and so, this only comes. Having heard, ahankara, problems of ahankara, sadhana, good sadhana, best sadhana for me, best guru for me, still I am sadhaka. This thing doesn't come. Because here Shankaracharya, yes.
No, sorry. No, lastly, maybe we are not having somebody who is leading us, like when Shankaracharya was there, or somebody who is able to give that guidance in that way, maybe.
Actually, Lord sends a right perfect man to everybody.
Yeah.
Only we fail to recognize,
realize.
identify. Actually, that is.
Okay.
Tukaram Maharaj says, "Apanachi deva hoya guru." For each individual, Lord himself becomes a guru, but we fail to recognize that. So here, Shankaracharya is telling, we as a individual fighting with two worlds. Okay, why we are not getting into sadhaka title, sadhaka position, you say, a sadhaka role. He is saying we are fighting with two worlds, and one is inner world and another is outer world. Same Tukaram Maharaj has translated, रात्रन दिवस आम्हा युद्धाचा प्रसंग, अंतर्बाह्य जग आणि मन. Tukaram Maharaj saying, day and night I am having this situation in front of me, I am fighting, and because of that fighting I am always defeated. The third party will always knock down me. That is why I am not coming into that sadhaka role to begin with. That is why you say how beautiful word came here, Adav. Shloka starts with Adav. First, in the beginning, you should do this. Okay, what? So, inner enemies, we are fighting, okay, and we always fight with enemies only. So why we are not coming into this sadhaka role? Because we are getting defeated again and again. Sometimes from outer world, sometimes from inner world. Okay, that fighting is going on day and night. Okay. Okay. So first is inner enemies, Shankaracharya is pointing out. You know, we have to know we have to know that who are actually my enemies. Gita points out different enemies. Our actual enemies are different, and we feel this person or this thing is my enemy. So that has to be confirmed first. Okay. Then I can fight with them. First of all, what? I have to recognize who are my enemies and how are they my enemies. And third point is, how will I win over them? Our point, you know what? We don't know who are our enemies. We feel some other person, they are enemy, and we are wasting our time to fighting with them. We exhaust our energy there. First of all, Shankaracharya is pointing out, Shatrugana. Adav Vijitya. First you win over this. What? First, Shankaracharya says outer world. Outer world means sense objects. Here off came, but it is not off. Sense object. Okay. Sense objects Vishayan. You see first line. Adav Vijitya Vishayan. First, Vishay means all padarthas. External world is called Vishaya. Whole world is nothing but what? It is a Vishaya only, object of experience only. It is object only. And with that we are fighting. You know, when we come prior to class, we fight with world and we come in class. After class, we again go into this world and again we fight day and night with Vishaya. And what happens if two wrestlers are fighting? One is going to win always, and every time other wins. You see, Vishaya wins or we win. We give up Vishaya or Vishaya gives up us. Okay, we don't give up Vishaya. Vishaya gives us up. Okay, so first is outer enemy, Vishayan. Shankaracharya says you win over this world first. What is win is different topic, but you conquer this outer world first. And then you come to inner world. What is inner world? Mada, Moha, Raga, Dvesha, Adi. Four he explicitly mentioned. And then he said, how many I will write? Adi Shabda he put there. Means many more. Many more in that. Okay, and this is called Shatrugana. Shatrugana means a team, a group of enemies. And with them, one person is fighting. So who will win? One against whole world, one against inner these many enemies. Actually, what has happened, we have sat in spirituality car, but that anchor is put there. One is inner world, another is outer world to that car, and we are giving accelerator. So much we are pushing accelerator. What will happen? Nothing is going to happen because anchors, they are pulled us up. That is why we will not go ahead. So these are the inner world, outer world enemies. Because of that, we are not going ahead. Okay, Kama is not Ajnani's vairi, sinner's vairi. Kama is Jnani's vairi. Bhagavad Gita 3rd chapter says, Kama esha krodha esha vidhi enam vairinam. A Kam, Krodh, you understand them as your enemy, of whom Jnani is. For us beginners, what is vairi? Vishaya. For Jnani, objects as such is not vairi. But that Kama, desires, different kind of desire. Not for objects, for other desires, they are vairi. Arrogance, delusion, for Jnani, these are not vairi. Different desires, they are vairi. Okay, so these are for beginners, these are obstacles actually. And these are anchors. Because of them, we are not moving, we are not budging our place only. Okay, so how many outer world objects are there? How many objects are there in this world? Can we tell that if we start enumerating them, how many objects are there in this whole world? We can't count. Innumerable objects are there. Okay, but our Shastra is so great, they say only 5 objects are there in this whole world. What they say? You will say this mobile, this, will enumerate all. But Shastra says only 5 objects are there in this whole world. So we are thinking on Vishayan first. Okay, so Adav Vijitya, you win over this first. What are they? Vishaya, objects, sense objects, and second, like Mada, Moha, Raga, Dvesha, this group of enemies. So what are 5 objects? Whole world is having only 5 things, 5 objects. Our Shastra says Vishaya means sense objects. Okay. Earlier Vishaya means subject matter, Adhikari Vishay. Here Vishaya means, see, same name but different terminology. One Vishaya means what is the subject matter of your text. And this Vishaya means what all objects are there in this whole creation. We say only 5 objects are there. Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, Gandha. Now we are going deep. These 5 things, they are pulling us back. They are not allowing us to proclaim that I am a seeker and I want to seek something now. Something better, or whatever world is seeking, other than that, I want to seek now. So Shabda means what? Words. Okay. Sparsha means touch. Rupa means form. Rasa means taste. And Gandha means smell. So hearing, touching, tasting, seeing, all this, smelling, these are the anchors which are not allowing me to proclaim myself as a seeker. You see, we are distracted only in this 5, and these 5 things means whole world. Not that world means house, this and no. All are categorized in 5 ways only. Okay. Now these are the problems where we have to work. Vishayan means 5 this Vishay. Why? Somebody will say why? Why to defeat, or why to give up this, or why to win over this Vishayas? Somebody will say. So what is the answer for that? Because of Shabda, hearing, tasting, smelling, touching, leaking, our life is going on. What is problem in that? So that we'll think later. So this is outer world. Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, Gandha. These are terminology in our Shastra. So we have to win over this first. If I want to start my journey, first thing what should I do? Shankaracharya say, Adav Vijitya. Okay. Then what is inner world, which is more harmful than the outer world? Outer world we can shut down. We can close our eyes, sit in meditation. External world will not bother me. But whatever inner world is there, that will bother me more. So Mada, Moha, Raga, Dvesha. When we hear these things, we feel all are nothing but same only. But here, some definitions you can write down in Sanskrit about what is Mada, Moha, Raga. Okay. Mada means what? Inner world. This is inner world problem. More stronger than the outer world. Mada means what? Mat sadrushah kaha asti iti harsha buddhihi. Who is like me? Who can be there like me? Nobody is there like me. This is called Mada. In short, arrogance. Okay. This should go down in order to claim myself as sadhaka. If you feel who is like me, you will never be in that position. And unless I become sadhaka, striving for sadhya will not start. That is why we are not getting that kick to start our journey. This is my observation about myself. I can't say about all. So Mat Sadrushah Kahasti. In Gita 16th chapter, you will find essay on these people. Big Bhagavan has said all things about this negativity. So Gita 16th chapter 15 number shloka. Actually it is Mada explanation. Bhagavan says Adhyo Bhijanavanyasmi Konyosti Sadrusho Maya. Same definition Bhagavan gave there. Maya Mat Sadrushah Kaha Anyah Asti. Who is like me? Yakshe Dashyami Modishe. I will do charity. I will do yajna. Jnana yajna we are talking, where Mada has gone in that level. That is why this is inner world is very harmful. Mada is not that we see in non-spiritual people. Mada we see more in spiritual people. Okay. Because more activity we do here in front of people. That is why more Mada. Actually it is said Pada. How do we write Pa and the? So if Pada is there, Mada will automatically come. Only one small dot has to be there before that Pada, to that Pada. Then it becomes Mada. Pada means what? Position. You take any position, any smallest position, still Mada will be there because you have that position. And who is like me? This Bhava once comes, then bit difficult to move ahead. So this Mada means nobody is like me. Moha. Moha means what? Mamatva buddhi. This is mine. This belongs to me. This is not allowing me to go ahead. And Shankaracharya says you win over this first. You say this belongs to Bhagavan. You see difference to your family, children. Slowly you start saying that this belongs to Bhagavan. Immediately it will not happen. But you start saying that this. Okay. Mamatva buddhi. Another definition of moha is hiteshu ahita buddhi, ahiteshu hita buddhi. That which is actually well-being for me, I feel this is worst thing for me. And which is worst thing for me, I feel this is the best thing for me. Hiteshu ahita buddhi and ahiteshu hita buddhi. What is good for me, I feel it is bad. And what is bad, I think it is good. If you see 18th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavan gives the definition of tamasic buddhi. Okay, what is good, about that I will feel bad. What is bad, about that I will feel good. It is tamasic buddhi. So moha means what? Minus is one definition, but in good seeing bad and in bad seeing good, it is moha. Raga. Raga means different way, different terminology. Okay, raga here means not anger. Raga means utkat ichha. Utkat ichha means unstoppable desire. And nobody can stop me doing that. That is called raga. Okay, very strong desire. You cannot replace that desire anyhow. It is called raga. If these things are there, I want to achieve this, then I want to achieve Paramatma will go away, means go will go far. I want this only, then Paramatma will go away, go far. These things are not aligned. Bhagavan Shankaracharya is saying, please have control over on your desires. Okay. And dvesha means, what a beautiful definition is given. Dvesha means vrutha ninda, unnecessarily gossiping. We are not going to get anything from out of it, but still gossiping. It is called dvesha. Dvesha means not having, negative thought about something. Talking also unnecessary, discussing topics, gossiping is also a dvesha. And another definition is para anishta abhilasha. Para anishta means, para means other, anishta means non-conducive should happen with them. This kind of entertaining, this kind of bhava is called dvesha. Acharya says, you win over this. He did not mention that how to win over this. This he has left up to us. He showed who are your enemies. Now how to find with how to fight with arrow, with sparrow, or whatever spare you think now. He just pointed out, because we feel that person is my enemy. He says no, persons are not enemy. Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, Gandha, and this inner world is your enemy. Okay. And Acharya gives very nice title.
Hari Om, this last par anishta abhilash, can you?
Para means what? Other than me. Anishta means non-conducive.
Okay.
Like it is said, one story it is said that Bhagwan prasanna hue, and Bhagwan said, whatever you will ask, your neighbor will get double. Whatever you will ask, I will give a boon, I will grant a boon. Whatever you ask, you will get double. Then he thought, if I ask one Mercedes, he will get two. If I ask one house, he will get two. He said, then my one eye should go. Then non-conducive happened, that the other neighbor's two eyes went away. He became blind. Now it is gone. I should become deaf. See, he said, with one eye I can see, with one ear I can listen, but he will not listen that. This is called para anishta abhilasha. Wrong should happen with others. Okay. And Shankaracharya ji gives very nice title to such a person who conquered inner outer world problem. Shankaracharya ji says, Yoga Rajyaha. Ahruta Yoga Rajyaha. This is person's name. Bhagavan Shankaracharya ji says, one who win over these problems in the beginning, he is Ahruta Yoga Rajyaha. Rajya means field and yoga means mind level. Okay. So first we have to win over our mind, control our mind. Here Yoga Rajya means field of mind. And what is that field? Dvesha, Raga, all this. That we have to win. How beautiful title. Avruta means conquered. Kingdom of this yoga. Kingdom of yoga. Yoga means here mind, you can say. Okay, this I have to win over. Okay. Now, why to win over Vishayas? Okay, I will ask you some questions when your turn comes. So somebody will say, because of Vishaya we are enjoying. And why are you saying that we have to win over Vishayas? Why are you saying that? Now here is answer. One Vishaya, only one Vishaya kills that animal, that entity thoroughly. And we are enveloped, surrounded, or 5 Vishayas are installed in a human being. What will happen to us? One Vishaya kills one animal. 5 Vishayas installed in one animal, a Manusha Prani only, what will happen to us? So why I should win over Vishayas? Because one Vishaya kills one animal. One's life, one Vishaya spoils, destroys the life of one entity. Each life is equally important. So here, which Vishaya spoils or destroys the life of which animal? Why sense objects are enemy? Because they are destroying life of our life is getting destroyed by these Vishayas. That is why we have to win over it. If you see harin, like deer, I have purposely wrote it down in Sanskrit, so some Sanskrit word comes in our mind. Shabda Vishaya, like deer is captivated by Shabda Vishaya. You know, when that Vyadha hunter plays that Shabda, then that wherever that deer is wandering, it comes near to that person. And then he grab hold or catches that deer. And if one Kavi said that having caught up that deer says, you take away my skin, but you sit on that skin and play that same tune. That much is the affection. I don't remember that Hindi rhyming, but very beautiful. That deer says to that hunter, don't worry. You take away my life, but you sit on my skin and play that same tune. That much Shabda Vishaya is affecting, fascinating, or tempting that deer. We also have Shabda Vishaya. Next is Gaja Sparsha. Gaja means elephant. Gajaha. That elephant, how they catch elephant, you know, they will dig hole. They will put on the other side of that hole, they will, stand one she elephant. And that elephant will run for sparsha, touching, and he will fall in that ditch, big hole. And they will not give food for many days, and he will be, slave of those people. So this is how Gaja is captivated, fascinated by one, only sparsha he is having. Gaja doesn't have thirst for listening. Like that Rupa, Patanga, moth. Okay, that moth. That moth, he has so much fascination for that flame. He gives up his life and, उस पर वो उड़ी मारता है. He jumps on that flame. That much fascination is there for form. Meena means fish. Only one shortcoming is there, that taste. That fish gives his life for that small flower, you can say, for that food. And Gandha means Bhramar. Bhramar means honey bee, that bee. You know that bee can drill a hole in a wood, very strong wood. But the same bee, when that bee, stucks into that lotus, that bee cannot drill the very thin petal of that lotus. That much is the power of one Vishaya. Jnaneshwar Maharaj says, Bhramara Bhedi Kode, Bhalataise Kasta Korade. Korade Kasta Bhramara Bhedi. A Bhramara, a honeybee can drill inside out in that tree. But that honeybee gives his life, but can't drill that single petal. Very thin petal. So one Vishaya is taking life of one animal, one insect, what will happen to us? That is why it is said, you conquer them, you win over them, then you will be qualified for higher knowledge. Right now we are stuck into food, clothing, and different forms, experience, smell. In that only, in this world we are entangled actually, and this world is not letting go of us in this another world. Okay, so these are the problems. That is why these are enemies. Okay, and it is, some quotes are here. Bhagavad Gita 5th chapter 22 number shloka. It is said, Yehi samsparsaja bhogaha. Shloka, this beautiful shloka. Why we should give sense objects? Why we should give pleasure, give up pleasure? It is said, this vishayas, in the beginning they will give sorrow. When they go away, that time they will give sorrow. In the middle, what to talk? So yehi samsparsaja bhogan adyantavanta kaunteya nateshu ramate buddha. Beautiful shloka. In them, Buddha people don't take delight. And here, ladder of fall, very oft quoted. Dhyato vishayan punsah sangasteshu upajayate. We know all this shloka, but we fall prey for vishaya. This is another chintaniya vishay. Having known this, why we go in that direction? Okay. So these two quotes which says you win over the vishaya. Okay, क्या हो गया ये? Okay. ठीक है. Now 2 lines are over. आदौ विजित्य विषयान मदमोह राग द्वेषादि शत्रु गणमावृत योग राज्याः. Okay, inner world, outer world, we have to conquer them. Okay, what is mean by conquering objects? You please tell now. 5 minutes, but we will think. Conquering objects means what?
We should not get attached to them.
We should not get
Attached to them.
Okay.
Attached to them.
Attached. Okay. Second, any other?
You should not chase them.
Chase them.
Leave it. I mean, don't worry about just go on doing the work and not worry about the results.
Acha. Conquering object means what? Shilpa ji, yes.
What I feel is, rather than whenever we have objects, rather than we own it, they own us. Because for 1 minute, if I don't have my mobile phone with me, it makes me worried. See, that is what is, it is conquering us actually. We are not conquering. It is for us that we use the mobile phones. It is for our convenience that we use. But we forget that and we are slaves to the same entity.
How to conquer Vishayas, or what is conquering? So my thought is, attachment is, rightly Sudhakarji said, when I will, so this is different topics are coming. Okay. Here conquering means not running away from Vishayas. This first we have to understand. This is very much misunderstood, this concept. Winning over the objects or giving up the objects means running away from the Vishayas. No, it is not like that. Vishayas will be there, but test for those Vishayas will not be there. In other words, that Sukha Buddhi in those Vishayas will not be there. Why we are clinging on to particular Vishayas and why we are giving up some Vishayas? Because I feel this object will give me happiness. That Sukha Buddhi is there. That is why I am not ready to give up that Vishaya. And because of that Sukha Buddhi, that Vishaya always wins over me. Okay. So giving up Vishaya means, or conquering Vishaya means, having this thought that happiness is not coming from that object. Object is just a medium. From that medium, happiness is coming. Happiness doesn't belong to that object. If this thought is there, then we will give up Vishayas. Otherwise, we won't give up. We will not give up. No matter how many lectures we listen, no matter from whom we listen, unless that Sukha Buddhi is there in objects, we are not going to let go of them. Okay. So winning over them means not having Sukha Buddhi in those objects is actually winning them. Then nobody should tell us you give up this, that. No. We will easily give up those things. Okay. Okay.
So it means we are using the mobile only for our work purpose, without really trying to enjoy from that. So we know that it has to be used for a specific purpose only.
That is another perspective you are telling. But
taking pleasure out of it. We are not taking pleasure. See, I am using it now. For example, I am using for Pragnodaya. I want to ensure that Lingashtakam chanting happens, people join. So my objective is restricted to that. It's not like I am using it for some other purpose.
Yeah, very rightly you said. We are going one step ahead of that. Yeah, it is a spiritual and good purpose. Still there can be attachment, and that attachment will give you sorrow. Diligently we have to do work, but attachment with that, Sukha Buddhi in that, Sukham will come from that, but that only will give me Sukham. If this happens, then only I am happy. This thought will give you sorrow. Okay. Having Sukha Buddhi in particular thing, particular event, this is going to give me sorrow. No matter, means no doubt we have to do it diligently, but still Sukha Buddhi should not be there. It is a Bhagwan's work and we have to do diligently, but without attachment. There also attachment shouldn't be there. Okay. Some more Chintanam will do on this. Okay. 2 lines next I will explain and then we will stop here. Next line says, okay, simple question. Okay, simple. You speak now a little bit. When do we give up anything in this world? Anything, whatever it may be, when do we give up? When do we renounce anything? Small reasons, you tell me.
When we get happiness.
When we get happiness, then we
renounce.
Then
we sacrifice things for our own happiness.
For happiness, we give up other things. Okay. One more answer. This is rightly said. When we get happiness, like if I get happiness from, if Rasagulla is there and Idli Sambar is there, I will go for Idli Sambar. I will renounce Rasagulla because Idli Sambar gives me more joy. So when we get better joy comparatively, then we give up inferior joy. And if we don't get Idli Sambar, then we go for Rasagulla. This is what all happening in our life. Whatever we want, we get. Otherwise, when we don't get, we are happy with whatever we have. Okay, so when we give up things, when we get better things in our life, then we give. Second, when we give. Not only that, when we get better things. One more point is there. Yes, बोलिए बोलिए. राघवन जी.
We give up when we know that it is not possible, you know. We just give up.
Okay.
It is far away, you know.
But
We
when
are
it is
trying-
not.
We are trying, but we know that, okay, you know, it's not happening. Where even our efforts are not working, you know, giving us the fruits. That's what is happening precisely with this, you know, with the sadhaks. They just start off and then they realize that we are going nowhere. So, and then they stop.
But this we cannot, make universal rule, because sometimes when impossible, people strive hard.
That is there, but
we have to have universal
generally I'm
rule.
saying 90%, 10% exceptions are there.
Okay, yes. But we want 100% true reason. One is 100% that when we get better things, I give up the inferior one.
And we don't get the continuous contentment, that is, then we might understand, or it gives there is a sorrow after some point of time, or it doesn't give continuous happiness. Then we might turn it.
Okay. On this, some things are coming. Actually, we don't want eternal happiness. What do you say on this? Otherwise, we would have strived for moksha. We want happiness short, not permanent. What do you say about this?
Yeah, instant happiness.
Instant and
Short.
continuous also. No. Continuous we don't want. Eternal happiness. No, all answers are right. I'm not, erasing your answer. Khandanam, I'm not doing. But other aspects are also there. So second is, when we see sorrow in particular thing, then we drop anything like hot potato. When we see sorrow, first is when we get better happiness, then we drop it. When we see sorrow, then we drop it. Okay. And third point is what? This is important point. Eventually, we drop everything. Nobody will tell you when you get older and older. Nobody will tell you drop this, that. You only will say, marriage, worst thing. Children, don't go for that. School, college, don't go. Means dropping everything. Eventually, we will drop everything. Okay. What is the practical example that when we get, greater source of happiness, then we drop our deep sleep. We drop everything and we go for that nirvishaya ananda. This is Vedanta's strong point. You don't need Vishayananda, you want Brahmananda. That is why you drop all Vishaya and go into deep sleep. In deep sleep, is there any object, family, children, house? Nothing. But happily we go every day for that. And when somebody disturbs our sleep, we are angry on that person. So actually, eventually we drop, and in deep sleep, we drop. We went to school. Do we carry that school in college? We dropped it. We went to college. We dropped it, take a job. Eventually we'll drop job also. Our mind will say, now enough of this. Eventually body also. So eventually everything we are going to drop. But Shastra is saying, you think now only and drop whatever has to be dropped. After 50 years, having children is a big tension. Getting married is a worst thing. What is the use of that? Because you have done everything. and you have dedicated your life for that. Now saying that there is no point in talking that. So before you understand this is the life sketch, and then you walk accordingly. Now what we should do? So we should now we should see the real fact in Vishayas, and then we will drop it. Nobody, you note down this thing. We never do tyaga of anything. Tyaga means not giving up something. Tyaga means you will give up when you understand something. Very strong Swamiji statement.
Can I repeat?
Sannyasa means not that you are taking sannyasa. You will means your jnanam will drop everything. Nobody will tell. Giving up is not an act, is a fact actually. You will give up. Nobody will tell you, you give up now this. Why we are not giving up? Because we haven't seen Dukha Buddhi in that. No, but we are now, we are having children and all. No, still you are not seeing Dukha Buddhi in that. The day you see, you will give up. This is the Mahima Garima of knowledge. That day you will not give any excuse. You know, some people goes to Guruji, should I take sannyas? Guruji say, no, don't take. If you have a question, don't take. And those who want to take, they will not ask questions. जो हिंदी में बोलते हैं ना, जो गरजते वो बरसते नहीं, जो बरसते वो गरजते नहीं, वैसे है वो. So sannyas, tyaga is not an act. Tyaga is a fact. You will give up that. Okay.
That's what why we are not learning from, you know. I've seen many of the, you know, many of the senior people who have passed away, and at the end, like, you realize that, you know, it's nothing but we have to give up everything, you know? So, and still we know it, and we still wait, you know, for the last moment.
This is actually a problem. So today's discussing bottom line is what we know, but still we don't do.
Yeah.
We know, but still we don't go.
So that Vivekam is not coming.
Because whatever knowledge is not settled down. Settling down is another thing. See, now 1 hour we talked, you know, serious things. After 10 minutes, you see what thought comes in our mind. After 10 minutes, not comes but doesn't stay. See, our vairagya is also, we also get vairagya every now and then. But that doesn't stay for a long time. This is problem.
So should we regularly read scriptures routine, because we were giving very less time to scriptures, so we are not getting established.
Our Swamiji says, you know, small story, very small but very apt story.
Please.
One seeker, he every day goes to learn Bhagavatam. And after Bhagavatam, he applies oil to his guru. And one day in Bhagavatam, it comes that sannyasi should not ask student to apply oil on his body. And he should not ask any seva from his student. And he says, you give me answer of this now. He says to sannyasi. It is said here that you don't take any seva from student. Then Guru says, you press my left feet also. He was pressing right, you press my this also. And he says, go now. Next day he comes with the same doubt. Yesterday you didn't give me answer, you give me answer. Then Guru gives his a nice punch. Okay, he says, okay, how many times after doing seva, after Bhagavatam you do seva, or having done seva you listen Bhagavatam. So how many in one day, for how long you listen this discourse? He says 1 hour, Guruji, and then I do 15 minutes seva. And what do you do 23 hours? He says, I do all samsaric work, other work, totally opposite work of what I have listened. Then he says that in 23 hours, this 1 hour goes where I also don't know. Guru replies the same way. I do 23 hours chintanam. In that your 15 minutes seva, where goes, I also don't know. So where we put efforts, I have quoted this earlier also. Again, I will tell. We do Shravanam of Vedanta. We do Chintanam of Maya, and we get Sakshatkara of Dukkham. See, Shravanam of Vedanta, 1 hour, yes. Chintanam, what is here, there, everywhere. Some unnecessary, some mandatory, dharma also, kartavya also we do. But Chintanam of Maya and Sakshatkara of Dukkham. So when Shravanam, Mananam is of same kind, then things will happen. Okay. You think how one person asked Guruji, who will be happy person in his life? Guruji says, one who becomes serious, he will be happy. What a small, very powerful answer. We have to become serious about these studies, about spiritual practices. Slowly will happen. It is not one life journey. But whatever we can achieve in one life is good. Okay, so Chintanam should happen more. 3 doses, morning, afternoon, evening. Then you see you are in that Vedanta only. Then your 15-minute work means other work. Otherwise 23 in Vedanta. But whatever we are doing, we are going good. Every time I have to say this. But now we are helpless actually. We have taken decision before 10 years. So now managing with that, balancing, we have to. Balancing means what? Our balancing is what? 1 hour Vedanta in 1 week and all 167 hours. Well, this is our balance. No. If you are having 10 hours in your hand, at least 2 hour Vedanta, 8 hour samsaric life is good. Okay? Next time we will cover more. We will throw some more light. I told you one shloka is like one text. Okay? So today we saw some definitions, why to give up Vishaya, how to give up. When we see Dukha Buddhi in that, then we give up. Mada Moha Raga, inner world, outer world, one who wins. Shankaracharya say, Avrutta Yoga Rajyaha. He has conquered the kingdom of yoga. Mind he has conquered. Next stanza is remaining. We will next time finish this. Today, because of some unavoidable reason, I got stuck somewhere. So I apologize for that. Okay. You think we are going good, but it should stay here. It comes and goes, whatever comes and goes, because we are asanga. That is why we are not holding to anything. Even shloka concept, nothing. Our nature is that we will give up everything. Because we are Atma, and Atma's nature is what? Asanga. So it will not hold concept, people, nothing. At the end, it will give up everything. But on right time, you should give up. When we are carrying, that carrying is giving problem. That time, mind level, we should give up. Then while carrying also, all load, we will be load free.
What happens to sadhus? Do they carry all this?
Nahin. One who carries that I am not. This nishchaya is there. Then how come we say that he is carrying or not? Like whatever problem Raghavanji is having is not my problem. When I understand this, then Vasant is not carrying any problem of Raghavanji.
No, I'm talking about Vedas and all. I mean, these sages, these saints, they carry it with them towards the end.
What?
No, the Vedas, they must be. I'm talking about towards the end. What happens? We people, though, we don't carry anything. But those who keep doing this Shravanam, they must be. It must be, drilled in their Atman.
So our Shravanam is very great Shravanam. Eventually, that Shravanam will say, now you give up me also. You see, our only Indian scripture, our Veda says, you give up me also. That is why they are great. It is said in Panchadasi, like when we carry that mashal, you know that earlier days mashal wo carry karte the na, how we give up that when we reach to our destination, that way you give up this Vedanta, Shravanam, everything now. You don't need anything now. Palalam eva dhanyartham. Or it is said when we, that husk and that grain, we give up. Dusk or husk when we give up, that time dhanya is we are carrying. Like that, everything that sadhu gives up. Means it is enjoined by Shruti also. Now you say you give up us also. So they don't carry. If they want to give up, distribute this jnanam in next janma, then they can carry. They will carry. Subtle topics, but this much is enough. Sorry, I'm very sorry.
It's okay. No, it's okay. I mean.
No, I'm very much particular about time. Our acharya is like that. But hope you also thinking so. Time doesn't matter much. Okay, ठीक है. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.